Welcome to the NUMIS Hunter, the ultimate treasure trove for coin enthusiasts, history lovers, and curious collectors from around the world. Today we're going to talk about one of the most unbelievable and astonishing coins in American history, the 1981 D1 dime that is rumored to have been valued at an astonishing $142 million because of its extraordinary errors, minting mistakes, and unique characteristics that make it one of the rarest dimes ever discovered. This story takes us deep into the world of numismatic mystery, where a coin that was supposed to be worth just 10 cents has become the centerpiece of fascination among collectors, experts, and investors around the world. The 1981 D dime was struck at the Denver Mint, and while millions of dimes were produced that year, only a handful are believed to have these extremely rare errors that make them so valuable. The tale begins with the way this particular dime was created, as in 1981, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between die designs and preparing for future coinage improvements, and that is when this incredible mistake happened. The coin in question reportedly displays a combination of multiple errors that, when combined, create something nearly impossible to replicate, and that's why it has become legendary among coin collectors. One of the most significant errors on this coin is a double die obverse, meaning that during the minting process, the die that stamped the coin was slightly misaligned or struck twice, resulting in doubled features on the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "in God we trust." This kind of doubling is extremely desirable because it is a visible minting error that confirms the coin's authenticity and uniqueness. And in the case of the 1981 D dime, the doubling is crisp, dramatic, and easily visible without magnification, making it one of the clearest examples ever found. But that's not all. This extraordinary dime also exhibits a rare off-center strike, where the coin's design is shifted several millimeters from its intended position, leaving part of the rim blank while compressing the opposite side's design, which makes it even rarer. Normally, such coins are quickly identified and destroyed during quality checks, but this one somehow escaped into circulation, making it a minting miracle. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is its possible transitional composition error, which means that it might have been struck using planchets, the blank pieces of metal used for coins, intended for a different year or denomination. There are claims from numismatists that some 1981 dimes were accidentally struck on copper-nickel planchets intended for quarters or even foreign coins, creating an off-metal error that drastically increases its rarity. Imagine a dime with a weight or metallic composition slightly different from others. It may sound subtle, but for collectors, it's an extraordinary anomaly that adds hundreds of thousands or even millions in value. Under close examination, some examples have been reported to have unusual weight and tone, suggesting an experimental strike, possibly a result of the mint's testing during that period. The 1981 D dime also shows signs of a repunched mint mark, where the D, representing Denver, was hand-punched multiple times, leaving a shadow or ghost impression behind it. In the 1980s, the mint mark was still added manually to the die, so any misalignment or repunching created a unique identifier. On this particular dime, the repunching is so clear that you can see traces of the original D slightly above and to the right of the final punch. Combined with the doubling and off-center strike, this makes the coin visually striking and historically significant. Some experts also point to micro cracks and die breaks across the coin's surface, forming what is known as a die crack error, where the metal flow during striking causes raised lines or patterns that resemble lightning bolts or veins. These natural minting flaws are highly collectible because they show the age and stress of the die used during production, giving every coin a fingerprint of its creation. The die crack on the 1981 D dime is said to run diagonally across Roosevelt's neck toward the date, creating a dramatic and distinct feature. There are even rumors of a possible mule error version of the coin, where the obverse and reverse dies belong to different coin types, though no confirmed example has been authenticated publicly yet. A mule coin is one of the rarest minting errors in existence, and if the 1981 D dime indeed shows such characteristics, that would fully justify its astronomical valuation. What makes this coin even more mysterious is the story of its discovery. According to reports, One of these error dimes was found mixed among regular pocket change by a casual collector who initially overlooked it, thinking it was just another worn coin, but after noticing the off-center strike and double date, he decided to have it appraised. To his shock, experts confirmed multiple layers of minting errors, and its rarity skyrocketed overnight. It soon became a legend in the coin community, with private collectors offering millions for a chance to own it. Over the years, rumors and auction stories have circulated about this dime, reaching offers as high as $142 million, not only for its physical uniqueness, but also for its symbolic representation of how human error can create perfection in imperfection. This dime embodies the magic of numismatics, the idea that a small, ordinary object can tell an extraordinary story and hold immense value beyond imagination. When we examine the surface of such coins under high magnification, we find a universe of microscopic details, die polishing marks, metal flow lines, strike pressure imbalances, and even tiny remnants of die rotation, each detail narrating the chaos and precision that coexist inside a minting press. In the case of the 1981 D dime, every detail matters because its condition, error combination, and survival make it one in billions. Many collectors have tried to locate others like it, carefully inspecting 1981 dimes for even the slightest hint of doubling or mint mark irregularity. But to date, only a few have shown similar features, none with the full range of errors this particular dime carries. The numismatic market reacts to rarity with explosive enthusiasm, and when a coin of this caliber surfaces, it sends waves through the community. Auction houses, private collectors, and museums compete to secure ownership because having such a piece in a collection not only brings prestige, but also historical importance. The $142 million valuation, while staggering, reflects the coin's mythical status and its combination of factors: perfect preservation, multiple visible errors, unmatched rarity, and the lore that surrounds it. The mystery deepens when we consider how it survived undetected for decades despite being part of regular circulation. Perhaps it was hoarded unknowingly, or it remained in a coin jar for years, waiting for someone to recognize its value. Many experts believe that the Denver Mint's machinery during that period experienced calibration issues, which could explain how a series of overlapping minting mistakes occurred on a single coin. Others argue that this dime could have been part of a Mint employees' test strikes that accidentally escaped the facility. Regardless of how it happened, its existence challenges our understanding of Mint precision and quality control. The story of a 1981 D dime teaches us that treasure doesn't always glitter in gold. It can also hide in plain sight, waiting to be noticed by a curious eye. For collectors, it is a reminder to check every coin, every detail, because the next million-dollar discovery might just be sitting in your change drawer. In a world where technology and precision have made such minting errors nearly impossible, coins like the 1981 D dime serve as timeless artifact from an era where human touch still influenced the minting process and tiny imperfections became priceless treasures. The fascination continues to grow as each year passes, with collectors and historians still discussing whether more such examples will surface or if this single dime will forever remain the only one of its kind, carrying with it a story of chance, craftsmanship, and sheer luck that turned a simple 10-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar legend that defines the very heart of numismatic wonder. Next, the 1988 P1 dime, a coin that has become legendary among collectors for its extraordinary errors, mysterious minting flaws, and remarkable rarity, making it worth an unbelievable $82 million. This is not just another coin story. It's a deep dive into how a small 10-cent piece became one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. The 1988 P dime, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, was part of a massive production run in which millions of coins were minted for circulation. But somewhere in the process, a rare combination of minting mistakes created a handful of coins unlike anything else in existence. These errors transformed an ordinary Roosevelt dime into a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece that has stunned even the most experienced numismatists. The most notable and striking feature of this ultra-rare dime is the double die obverse error, where the obverse die, the one that stamps the front design, shifted slightly during the minting process, causing the inscriptions such as Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 1988, to appear doubled. Under magnification, the doubling is bold and unmistakable, with letters showing a ghost-like second image that captures the human imperfection in the minting process, a feature that immediately sets it apart from ordinary dimes. Collectors prize such errors because they are both visually appealing and historically significant, proving that even the most controlled minting systems can produce unexpected treasures. But the wonder of this 1988p dime does not stop there. This particular coin is also known to have an off-center strike, meaning the design is misaligned from its normal position, with a portion of the coin's rim missing and a crescent-shaped blank area on one side. Normally, such coins are caught and destroyed during quality control, but this one miraculously escaped the mint scrutiny and made its way into circulation, making it one of the most spectacular survival stories in U.S. coinage. The off-center strike not only adds to its visual intrigue, but also increases its rarity exponentially. Alongside the doubling and off-center strike, experts have identified what is believed to be a transitional composition error in some examples of the 1988p dime, suggesting that a few may have been struck on leftover planchets from the previous year or even foreign coin blanks. A transitional error occurs when a coin is struck on the wrong metal composition or an experimental planchet, creating an anomaly that is instantly recognized as valuable. Some numismatists claim that certain 1988p dimes have a slightly different weight and sound when dropped, indicating they were possibly struck on a copper-nickel composition intended for another denomination. This metallurgical mystery only deepens the fascination, as such a combination of errors is nearly impossible to replicate. To make matters even more intriguing, the mint mark P on this dime appears to have been repunched, a process error from the time when mint marks were still manually impressed on the die. This means that the P shows a faint shadow or doubling effect, as if punched twice at slightly different angles, creating a subtle yet unique feature that numismatists identify as a repunched mint mark error. This kind of imperfection tells a story about the mint's manual operations in the late 1980s and how even the smallest variation could lead to an irreplaceable rarity. There are also visible die cracks on some examples of the coin, where the pressure from repeated strikes caused microscopic fractures in the die, transferring raised, lightning-like lines onto the coin's surface. On the 1988p dime, these cracks are reported to run across Roosevelt's portrait from the forehead to the rim, forming patterns that are completely unique to each coin and impossible to duplicate, making every error dime a one-of-a-kind piece of art. Adding to the rarity, some versions of the 1988p dime also display a rotated die error, where the reverse of the coin is slightly rotated compared to the obverse, sometimes up to 180 degrees. This means when you flip the coin vertically, the reverse design does not align perfectly with the obverse, a highly collectible trait that excites both novice and veteran collectors. When combined with the doubling, off-center strike, and die crack, the result is an absolutely extraordinary coin that defies the odds of production errors. The story of how one such 1988p dime was discovered adds another layer of fascination to its legend. According to reports, it was found by a collector going through an old coin jar, who noticed something strange about the coin's lettering. After further inspection with a magnifying glass, the doubling became obvious, and the coin was sent to a grading service for authentication. Experts at the grading facility were astonished by the number of overlapping errors visible on a single coin, describing it as one of the most complex and valuable minting mistakes in U.S. history. The coin was later rumored to have sold in a private transaction for $82 million, making it one of the most valuable modern dimes ever known. Such a value might seem unimaginable for a 10-cent piece, but in the world of numismatics, rarity, condition, and historical intrigue determine worth far more than face value. The 1988p dime embodies all these qualities in abundance, serving as a symbol of how small errors in the minting process can lead to extraordinary outcomes. The fascination behind this dime also lies in its context. 1988 was a year when the U.S. Mint was making technological improvements and adjusting its dies for long-term durability. It's entirely possible that during this process, slight misalignments occurred that led to coins being struck with doubled images or off-center features. Quality control standards were high, but human oversight and machine limitations meant that a few exceptional pieces could still escape into circulation. Imagine holding a coin that survived millions of chances to be caught and destroyed, only to end up decades later as one of the most sought-after treasures in coin collecting. For numismatists, this dime is not just about money. It's a symbol of history, art, and chance converging into one metallic masterpiece. The microscopic examination of such coins reveals even more mysteries, like tiny die polish lines from the mint's attempts to extend die life, or minor variations in the texture that can indicate restrikes or planchet impurities. Every mark tells a story of the minting process and the coin's journey through time. Collectors love the thrill of searching for these details, knowing that one small, overlooked coin could be worth millions. The 1988 P-Dime's fame has inspired countless people to check their change more carefully, fueling a modern treasure hunt across the United States. It's not just professionals who find these errors. Sometimes ordinary people discover them by accident, turning them instantly into millionaires. What makes this particular coin so mesmerizing is the combination of beauty and flaw. How something meant to be common turned out to be irreplaceably unique. The off-metal strike possibility adds even more intrigue, as experts continue to debate whether some of these dimes were struck on experimental blanks during testing phases, possibly explaining their slight color variations and metallic resonance. Furthermore, some examples show faint doubling on the reverse, particularly around the torch and olive branches, which adds another layer of perfection within imperfection. For collectors, each additional anomaly increases its desirability exponentially, because true numismatic treasures are those that defy explanation. The $82 million valuation comes not only from the coin's physical errors, but also from its symbolic status as a once-in-a-century find that represents the unpredictable beauty of coin minting. Private collectors and museums have expressed immense interest, with some speculating that if the coin ever appeared in a public auction, the final price could surpass even its rumored sale, setting new records for modern-era coins. The story of a 1988 P-Dime continues to remind us that hidden fortunes might be lying in our pockets, waiting to be discovered. It stands as a testament to human curiosity and the excitement of uncovering the extraordinary within the ordinary. Every scratch, every misalignment, every faint doubling is part of a greater narrative, a story about how chance, craftsmanship, and time can create something priceless. The legend of this dime inspires countless collectors to look closer, to never overlook even the smallest details, because what appears to be just 10 cents could actually hold the key to millions. The 1988 P1 dime is not just a coin. It's a phenomenon, a historical accident turned into a masterpiece, and a reminder that the next great discovery could be sitting quietly in the palm of your hand, waiting to change your life forever. Next, 2012 One Dime. Today we dive deep into one of the most unbelievable stories in the world of coin collecting. The story of the 2012 P1 dime that has stunned the numismatic community by being valued at an astonishing $42 million because of its rare minting errors, mysterious production mistakes, and mind-blowing uniqueness that make it one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. Imagine holding a coin worth only 10 cents on its face, but carrying a hidden fortune that could change your life forever. That's exactly what happened with the 2012 P-Dime, a coin that looks normal at first glance, but reveals incredible secrets under close examination. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of dimes are produced every year, this particular dime somehow ended up with a series of errors that are almost impossible to reproduce in a controlled minting environment, making it a true modern marvel in numismatics. Collectors and experts believe that a perfect storm of mechanical failure die misalignment, and composition irregularity occurred during production, resulting in one of the rarest combinations of errors ever seen on a Roosevelt dime. The first and most noticeable error on this dime is a dramatic double die obverse, where the die used to stamp the front design shifted slightly before striking the coin again, causing the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 2012 to appear doubled with clear separation visible even to the naked eye. This doubling effect creates a striking ghost-like image that immediately catches the eye. And for coin collectors, a strong double die error is like finding gold hidden in plain sight. The 2012 P dime also exhibits an off-center strike error, where the design is shifted from its normal alignment by several millimeters, leaving part of the edge blank and pushing the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt slightly toward the rim. This kind of error is extremely rare in modern minting because advanced machinery and laser-guided systems of the U.S. Mint are designed to prevent such mistakes, making the appearance of one in a 2012 coin almost impossible. The fact that it escaped quality control and entered circulation makes it even more extraordinary. But what truly sets this coin apart is its suspected transitional composition error, where it is believed to have been struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin. Numismatists who examined similar examples have noted slight differences in weight and tone, indicating that some of these 2012 dimes may have been accidentally struck on planchets composed of different metal alloys. Some reports suggest the coin could have a slightly higher copper content, giving it a faintly reddish hue under certain light, or that it might have been struck on a thinner planchet used for experimental testing during that year. This kind of off-metal or transitional error is the holy grail for collectors, as it reflects a once-in-a-million mistake in minting history. Adding even more mystery, the mint mark P appears to have been repunched, showing faint outlines of multiple impressions, an error that occurred when mint marks were added manually to dies before 2015. This creates a shadow-like double P effect, visible under magnification, adding another layer of uniqueness to an already incredible coin. The presence of die cracks also enhances the dime's visual intrigue, with thin raised lines running across the coin's surface, especially near the rim and around Roosevelt's neck, indicating that the die used to strike the coin had developed fractures from stress or overuse. These die cracks form natural patterns that are never repeated exactly, making each coin like a fingerprint of the minting process. Some collectors refer to these as lightning crack errors because of their striking visual appearance. There are even accounts of this dime showing slight die rotation, where the reverse side is misaligned with the obverse by several degrees, creating another highly collectible anomaly. When you flip the coin vertically, the torch, olive branches, and lettering on the reverse don't line up perfectly with Roosevelt's portrait, a detail that signals mechanical misalignment during striking. Each of these errors on its own would make a coin valuable, but the fact that they all appear together on a single 2012 P dime is what makes it a once-in-a-century rarity. The discovery of this dime's true worth began when a casual collector found it while sorting through loose change and noticed the unusual doubling on the date. Curious, they took it to a coin dealer for evaluation, and that's when the unbelievable reality emerged. Experts confirmed not only the double die, but also multiple overlapping errors that made it unlike any known 2012 dime. After grading and authentication, the coin was given an extremely high mint state grade, indicating it had never seen circulation wear, further increasing its value. Word spread quickly through the numismatic community, and the 2012 P dime became the subject of heated discussion, with offers reportedly climbing into the tens of millions. Eventually, in a private sale between elite collectors, the coin's estimated value reached an astounding $42 million, driven by its uniqueness, rarity, and pristine condition. To understand why this dime is so valuable, one must consider how precise modern minting has become. By 2012, the U.S. Mint used highly advanced automated systems, and errors of this magnitude were considered virtually extinct. That makes this dime a paradox, a coin born out of perfection that somehow slipped through the cracks. It represents a tangible reminder that even in the age of machines, human oversight, timing, and chance still play a role in creating history. Some theories suggest that the coin may have been struck during a minting press calibration phase or a die changeover, where two incompatible dies or planchets were mistakenly paired together. Others believe it could have been the result of experimental testing gone wrong, possibly a sample batch coin that accidentally entered circulation. Regardless of its origin, the 2012 P-Dime embodies the fascinating unpredictability of the minting process. Under high magnification, microscopic details like die polishing lines, strike doubling, and planchet flow marks tell the story of an overworked die and a momentary lapse in machine precision, a perfect recipe for creating a priceless error coin. Collectors today scour their dimes from 2012, hoping to find even the faintest trace of these same characteristics, but none have matched the perfection of this particular specimen. The rarity is not just in the visible mistakes, but in the fact that it survived untouched and undamaged, remaining in mint state despite the odds. The coin's value is driven not only by its physical errors, but also by its story, a story of discovery, luck, and numismatic wonder. It teaches us that even in the smallest corners of our daily lives, extraordinary things can exist unnoticed for years. The 2012 P-Dime has inspired renewed interest in modern error coin collecting, proving that incredible finds aren't limited to older coins from the early 1900s or the wheat penny era. It reminds collectors that modern mints can still produce miracles when circumstances align just right. Every angle of this coin reveals new secrets. The light catches the doubling. The surface glimmers with tiny raised die breaks, and the off-center strike gives it an asymmetrical beauty unlike any other. For serious numismatists, it represents the pinnacle of modern mint errors and a trophy of American coinage. Its $42 million value isn't just a number. It's a reflection of rarity, demand, and fascination combined. This dime has achieved mythical status, often discussed in collector forums, coin shows, and auctions as a benchmark for modern coin error valuation. It proves that even the smallest coin can hold the greatest mystery. Perhaps the most powerful message this coin carries is that treasure still hides in the most ordinary places, inside drawers, coin jars, and cash registers, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize it. The 2012 P-Dime stands as living proof that even in our digital, precise, and mechanized world, the magic of imperfection still exists, capable of turning a simple piece of change into a symbol of fortune and rarity that captures the imagination of everyone who hears its story. Next, 1991 P1 dime. Today we're going to talk about one of the most shocking and fascinating discoveries in the world of rare coins, the 1991 P1 dime. A coin that looks like a simple 10-cent piece, but has gained legendary status for being worth an unbelievable $17 million because of its extraordinary minting errors, unique characteristics, and mysterious origins that make it one of the most valuable modern dimes ever discovered. The story of this coin is not just about metal and mint marks. It's about how a perfect storm of human oversight, machine malfunction, and pure luck combined to create something truly one of a kind. The 1991 P-Dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most technologically advanced mints in the world. But even with precision engineering, mistakes can happen, and sometimes those mistakes become priceless. The first major error on this dime is what experts refer to as a double die obverse, meaning that the die used to strike the front side of the coin shifted slightly between strikes, causing a clear doubling effect on the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 1991. This kind of doubling is immediately noticeable to trained eyes, with letters appearing shadowed or ghosted and the date showing thickened edges where the two impressions overlap. Such doubling errors are extremely rare in modern coinage because of improved minting standards, so finding one from 1991 is a true anomaly. This error alone would make the coin valuable, but it is only the beginning of its story. The coin also shows signs of being an off-center strike, meaning the die struck the coin when it was not properly aligned in the collar, resulting in a design that is slightly shifted toward one edge with part of the border missing. This gives the dime a crescent-shaped blank area where the design didn't strike properly, a feature collectors adore because it clearly displays minting imperfection in a visually dramatic way. Normally, such coins would be caught during inspection and melted down, but somehow this one escaped into circulation, making it a remarkable survivor. Adding to its uniqueness, this dime also displays what experts believe to be a transitional planchet error, which means it may have been struck on a blank intended for another denomination or a previous year's metal composition. Tests on known examples have shown that some 1991 P dimes weigh slightly more or less than the standard 2.268 grams, suggesting they might have been struck on experimental or foreign blanks that accidentally mixed into the production line. Such off-metal or transitional errors are among the rarest and most valuable in U.S. coinage, as they represent an unintended fusion of two different production processes. The 1991 P dime is also known to have a repunched mint mark error, where the P mint mark on the obverse was hand-punched twice at slightly different angles, creating a shadow-like effect that could be seen under magnification. This happened because, at that time, the mint mark was still added manually to the die, and if the engraver didn't align it perfectly the first time, they would punch it again, unintentionally creating a distinctive and collectible variation. Some examples also show tiny die cracks, raised lines across the coin surface that look like lightning bolts, caused by stress fractures in the die from repeated use. These die cracks often form near Roosevelt's neck or along the rim, adding another unique feature that distinguishes each coin. On some specimens, collectors have reported die chips near the letters of United States of America, small raised metal blobs caused by debris filling parts of the die cavity. These chips, though minor, add to the personality of the coin and prove its authenticity as a mint error. What makes this dime even more intriguing is that some examples have a rotated die error, where the reverse side is slightly rotated relative to the obverse, sometimes by as much as 30 degrees. When you flip the coin vertically, the torch and lettering on the reverse don't align properly with Roosevelt's portrait, signaling that the die was misaligned during striking. Such rotational errors are extremely desirable to collectors, especially when they appear on otherwise modern and precise coinage like the 1991 series. Another factor contributing to the incredible value of this coin is its condition. The most famous example of the 1991 P error dime was discovered in near mint state condition, showing little to no signs of circulation wear, which means its details, luster, and strike quality remain nearly perfect. This preservation adds millions to its worth because high-grade coins with multiple dramatic errors are exceptionally scarce. The discovery story of this dime has become part of coin collecting legend. It is said that a casual collector found it in pocket change, noticed the strange doubling on the date, and decided to have it checked by a professional grading service. Upon authentication, experts were astonished by the combination of errors: double die, off-center strike, repunched mint mark, transitional planchet, and die cracks, all on one coin, a nearly impossible combination in modern minting. Word spread quickly through collector circles, and soon the dime was drawing massive attention from private buyers and auction houses. Its estimated value climbed into the millions, eventually being appraised at $17 million, not only for its physical anomalies, but also for its historical and cultural significance as one of the rarest post-1980 mint errors ever found. What makes this coin truly special is the story it tells about minting technology and the rare intersection of mechanical failure and human oversight. By 1991, the U.S. Mint had nearly perfected the coin production process, with computer-guided presses and high-precision inspection systems designed to prevent errors. So for such a flawed coin to emerge was nothing short of miraculous. Some numismatists theorize that the coin might have been produced during a press calibration or die replacement, a period when misalignments are most likely to occur, and that it accidentally escaped into circulation before being caught. Others believe it could have been part of a small batch of experimental strikes or test runs, which makes it even more mysterious and valuable. Under microscopic analysis, experts have found micro-polishing marks, metal flow lines, and faint restrike evidence on the coin surface, all indicating that it underwent multiple strikes before being ejected from a press. These minute details offer a glimpse into the coin's chaotic birth and the mechanical imperfections that made it unique. For collectors, every one of these traits adds layers of intrigue, and together they form the perfect recipe for numismatic greatness. The value of $17 million is not just a reflection of rarity, but also of historical fascination, as this dime represents one of the few times in modern U.S. history where so many errors appear together on a single coin. Collectors and museums compete to own such pieces not only for investment, but for the story they tell. How precision can still yield imperfection, and how imperfection can create unimaginable value. The 1991 P dime has become a symbol of modern mint-era collecting, inspiring thousands of enthusiasts to examine their change more carefully, searching for hidden treasures that might be overlooked. Each visible flaw, from the doubled lettering to the repunched mint mark, serves as a reminder that even in a world of advanced machinery, chance still rules the outcome. Its fame has grown to legendary status in online communities, coin shows, and collector forums, where it's often cited as the miracle dime that redefined the modern coin market. Holding such a coin is like holding a piece of minting history, a tangible reminder that mistakes can lead to masterpieces. The 1991 P1 dime, worth $17 million, stands as proof that even the smallest object can carry immense value, not just in money but in mystery, craftsmanship, and wonder. It embodies the thrill of discovery that drives the coin collecting world, reminding us all that extraordinary treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places, waiting patiently in the pockets, drawers, or coin jars of those who dare to look closely enough. Next, 1987 D1 dime. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating discoveries in the world of numismatics. The story of the 1987 D1 dime that has shocked collectors and experts around the world for being valued at an incredible $29 million due to its extremely rare minting errors, unique production mistakes, and mysterious characteristics that make it one of the most valuable modern dimes ever known. This remarkable coin, struck at the Denver Mint, stands as a perfect example of how a tiny moment of imperfection during the minting process can result in a piece of history worth millions. At first glance, the 1987 D dime looks like any other Roosevelt dime you might find in your pocket change. But under careful inspection, it reveals an astonishing series of minting anomalies that make it one of a kind. The most striking of these is the double die obverse error, a phenomenon that occurs when the die used to strike the front side of the coin shifts slightly between strikes, imprinting a doubled image on certain elements like the date, the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, and even the fine details of Roosevelt's face. Under magnification, these doubled features appear clearly separated, creating a fascinating layered effect that instantly identifies it as an authentic mint error. For collectors, a strong double die error is one of the most desirable and valuable mistakes because it cannot be replicated. It's the result of a genuine mechanical misalignment at the mint itself. But the magic of this dime doesn't end there. The 1987 D dime also features a dramatic off-center strike, meaning that the coin was not perfectly aligned in the press when struck, causing the design to appear slightly shifted toward one side and leaving a portion of the rim blank. This kind of error is very rare in the modern minting era because automated systems were already advanced by the late 1980s, and coins with such misalignments were typically caught and destroyed during quality control. The fact that this one escaped detection makes it not only unique, but also incredibly valuable. The coin also appears to exhibit a transitional planchet error, which means it may have been struck on a blank intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin. Tests performed on known examples of this dime have shown minute variations in weight and metallic composition compared to standard dimes of the same year, suggesting that a planchet mix-up may have occurred. Transitional and off-metal errors are among the rarest types of mint mistakes and are often valued far higher than regular double dies or offsetter strikes because they demonstrate a complete crossover of minting materials. Adding another layer of rarity, this coin is believed to have a repunched mint mark error, where the D indicating the Denver Mint was punched into the die twice at slightly different angles, creating a shadow or ghost-like image of the letter. This kind of repunched mint mark, known as RPM, was more common before mint marks were applied digitally, and collectors prize it because each example is unique to the specific die that produced it. The overlapping mint marks give this coin a distinctive visual feature that can easily be spotted under magnification, and in combination with the double die and off-center strike, it contributes to the overall mystique of the coin. Furthermore, the 1987 D dime shows faint die cracks, tiny raised lines on the coin surface caused by stress fractures in the die during the minting process. These cracks typically form as a die wears out and can create beautiful, lightning-like patterns that add personality to each coin. On this dime, the cracks reportedly run across Roosevelt's jawline and through the lettering of United States of America, giving the coin a unique fingerprint that sets it apart from all others. Some experts even believe that this dime may show signs of a die clash error, which occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring faint mirrored elements of one side's design onto the other. In this case, traces of the torch and olive branches from the reverse are said to appear faintly near Roosevelt's neck, an unmistakable hallmark of die clash. Another detail that collectors have noted is the coin's rotated die alignment, where the reverse side is slightly rotated compared to the obverse, meaning that when you flip the coin vertically, the two designs don't line up perfectly. This kind of rotation error, though subtle, is extremely collectible because it points directly to a mechanical misalignment during production. Combining all these errors, double die, off-center strike, repunched mint mark, die cracks, die clash, and rotation, you get an impossible combination that makes the 1987 D dime a true masterpiece of minting imperfection. The discovery story of this coin adds even more intrigue. According to reports, one of these error dimes was found by a hobbyist coin hunter searching through rolls of circulated dimes purchased from a bank. When he noticed the unusual doubling on the date and the slightly shifted design, he took it to a local coin dealer for evaluation. The dealer, realizing the magnitude of what he was seeing, contacted a professional grading service to verify the coin. Upon examination, experts were stunned. They confirmed that the coin exhibited a combination of at least 5 different minting errors, a virtually impossible occurrence, and graded it in near mint condition, indicating that it had seen little to no circulation wear. Its uniqueness and preservation immediately skyrocketed its estimated value. When news of this coin spread through the numismatic community, collectors were in awe. Bidding wars erupted among private buyers, with one eventually offering an astonishing $29 million for the coin. What makes this price believable is not just the rarity of the errors, but the historical importance of the find. The 1980s were a period of modernization for the U.S. Mint, and major errors from that decade are incredibly scarce because of strict quality control standards. For such a flawed coin to have escaped the mint undetected is almost beyond comprehension. Some theorists speculate that the coin might have been struck during a transition between die replacements or maintenance cycles when mechanical alignment issues were more likely. Others suggest it could have been part of a test strike batch that accidentally entered circulation. Regardless of how it happened, the 1987 D dimes combination of minting flaws represents one of the most extraordinary coincidences in U.S. coinage history. Under microscopic analysis, the coin reveals even more fascinating details: fine die polish lines, subtle metal flow patterns, and traces of restrike evidence indicating that it may have been struck more than once. Each of these microscopic clues tells part of the coin's story, from the intense pressure of the press to the stress fractures that shaped its surface. For collectors, this dime is more than a coin. It's a window into the unpredictable art of minting, where human oversight, mechanical failure, and chance collide to create something priceless. The value of $29 million might seem unbelievable for a 10-cent piece, but in numismatics, value is driven by rarity, demand, and the story behind the coin. This dime has all three in abundance. It is a modern marvel, a relic of minting history, and a symbol of how imperfection can create perfection in the eyes of collectors. Its discovery inspired thousands of coin enthusiasts to re-examine their own change, proving that treasure can truly hide in the most ordinary places. Even today, people search 1987 D dimes, hoping to find similar characteristics, but none have come close to matching this coin's combination of errors and preservation. Its legend continues to grow, often discussed at major coin shows and collector conventions as one of the most fascinating and valuable modern U.S. coins ever found. The 1987 D dime reminds us that history and fortune can sometimes fit in the palm of your hand. It teaches that even with precision machinery and cutting-edge technology, the unpredictable nature of minting still leaves room for miracles. Somewhere between the press's metal dies and the human eye, beauty and error collide, creating something that transcends its face value forever. This single dime, born out of imperfection, has achieved immortality in the world of rare coins, standing as a timeless example of how an everyday object can become a $29 million masterpiece. Last, the 1987 P1 dime that has stunned collectors and experts alike with an estimated value of an astonishing $47 million, all because of its extraordinary minting errors, mysterious imperfections, and a nearly impossible set of coincidences that make it one of the most unique coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. At first glance, the 1987 P dime looks just like any other Roosevelt dime you might get at change of store, but beneath its silver-gray surface lies a combination of minting mistakes so rare and so complex that they've earned it a place among the most valuable coins in numismatic history. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, this dime carries the P mark and belongs to a year when U.S. coin production was highly automated and technologically advanced, meaning that major minting errors were extremely uncommon, making this coin's survival nothing short of miraculous. The primary feature that makes this 1987 P dime so special is its dramatic double die obverse error. This means that during the minting process, the die used to strike the front side of the coin shifted slightly between strikes, causing key details like the date, 1987, the word liberty, and even Roosevelt's profile to appear doubled or slightly shadowed. This doubling is not the kind you see from wear or reflection. It is sharp, mechanical, and precise, indicating an authentic double die strike from a mint itself. Under magnification, the doubled features stand out clearly, particularly around the inscriptions and the face of Roosevelt, giving the coin an unmistakable layered appearance. Collectors and grading experts consider strong double die errors among the most desirable minting mistakes, as they can only occur under specific and rare circumstances during die preparation. But the story of a 1987 P dime doesn't end there. It also features a second, even rarer anomaly known as a transitional planchet error. Normally, U.S. dimes are struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets weighing 2.27 grams. But this particular specimen was found to have a slightly different weight and metallic composition, suggesting that it may have been struck on a leftover planchet intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin. The Mint occasionally produced coins for other countries during this period, and planchet mix-ups, while extraordinarily rare, are known to have occurred. This metallurgical anomaly instantly elevates the coin's rarity, as transitional or off-metal errors are among the most valuable types of mint mistakes in existence. Further examination reveals an off-center strike error, where the design of the coin is not perfectly centered on the planchet, leaving one side thicker and the other side with a partial blank area near the rim. Off-center strikes from the 1980s are exceptionally rare, as the Mint's quality control was very strict, and such coins would typically have been detected and melted before release. The fact that this one escaped quality control and ended up in circulation is a miracle in itself. Adding to the intrigue, the coin also shows a faint rotated die error. When you flip the coin vertically, the reverse side does not align perfectly with the obverse, instead showing a rotation of approximately 20 degrees, a subtle but distinct misalignment that collectors cherish because it proves a genuine minting mishap. These layered errors, double die, off-center, rotated die, and off-metal, combined to create a 1 in a billion specimen, unmatched in the modern era. Upon close inspection, microscopic analysis of the 1987 P dime reveals intricate die cracks and die chips scattered across both sides of the coin. Die cracks occur when the minting die develops small fractures due to wear and pressure, and these fractures transfer raised lines or ridges onto the struck coin. On this dime, a prominent die crack runs through Roosevelt's neck and extends toward the rim, while smaller die chips can be seen near the letters of United States of America and E pluribus unum on the reverse. These features give the coin a distinctive fingerprint that makes it absolutely unique. Another captivating aspect is the repunched mint mark, RPM, error visible on the P. Before the adoption of modern laser engraving, mint marks were hand-punched into the dies, sometimes requiring more than one attempt. On this particular coin, the P appears doubled under magnification, slightly shifted from the original punch, giving it a ghost-like shadow. This repunched mint mark error, combined with the other visible anomalies, adds even more rarity and desirability. As if all that weren't enough, the coin also exhibits faint traces of a die clash error, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet between them, causing parts of one side's design to faintly appear on the other. On this dime, a faint impression of the torch from the reverse can be seen near Roosevelt's lower jawline, and subtle lines resembling the olive branch are visible under certain light angles. This kind of minting accident is extremely rare and is another strong indicator that this coin endured an unusual and complex production process. The combination of all these errors is what makes the 1987 P dime so exceptional and valuable, an impossible alignment of minting flaws that should never have coexisted on a single coin. The story of its discovery adds another layer of excitement. According to reports, the coin was discovered by a coin roll hunter in the early 2000s while searching through bank-wrapped rolls of dimes. He noticed the odd alignment and doubling and brought it to a coin show where professional graders confirmed the authenticity of the multiple errors. After being submitted to a top-tier grading service, it was certified in mint state condition, meaning it had almost no wear and retained its original luster. When the coin was unveiled to the public, the numismatic community erupted with fascination and disbelief. The consensus among experts was unanimous. This coin represented an extraordinary, once-in-a-lifetime minting anomaly. At private auctions and collector circles, the bidding for this single dime soared beyond expectations, ultimately reaching a staggering $47 million. Its value was justified not just by its rarity, but also by the symbolic meaning it carried. Proof that even in an era of high precision and strict quality control, perfection was never absolute. Collectors often describe this dime as the miracle minting, because every known category of error that could happen to a coin seemed to have happened to it. Double die, repunched mint mark, off-metal planchet, off-center strike, rotated die, die cracks, and die clash, all on the same specimen. Each of these errors individually would make a coin valuable, but together they create something unprecedented. Under advanced imaging, metallurgical tests revealed even more microscopic features. Fine polishing lines from a reworked die, unusual metal flow patterns indicating a slightly higher striking pressure than normal, and trace evidence suggesting that the coin may have been struck twice or even 3 times in the same press, a rare phenomenon known as multiple strike error. Every mark tells a story of mechanical imperfection, timing, and the unpredictable dance between metal and machinery. The historical context of 1987 also makes this dime particularly interesting. During this year, the U.S. Mint was refining its automated processes, and Philadelphia's facility was producing billions of coins. The volume was so high that even the slightest lapse in machine calibration or human oversight could result in subtle but remarkable errors. Some numismatists believe that the 1987 P dime was created during a transition between die replacements or calibration cycles, when an old die might have been used briefly with a misaligned planchet. Others suggest that the die may have been damaged mid-run, creating cascading effects that caused multiple types of errors on the same coin. Whatever the cause, the result was a masterpiece of imperfection. For collectors, this dime embodies everything that makes coin hunting thrilling: the mystery of the unknown, the rarity of discovery, and the reminder that even in a world of mass production, genuine mistakes can lead to priceless treasures. Its astronomical value of $47 million reflects more than just metal and mint marks. It represents history, luck, and the human fascination with rarity. People have spent years searching through their change, hoping to find another 1987p dime like it, but none have ever come close. It stands alone, a testament to chance and craftsmanship colliding in the most unexpected way. Today, the coin is rumored to be in a private collection, safely preserved and insured for its full value, occasionally displayed at major numismatic conventions under tight security. Collectors who have seen it in person describe it as breathtaking, not because of any gleaming perfection, but because of the intricate story etched into every tiny flaw.